Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, the Houston Texans lose to the Baltimore Ravens 25-9. And C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson Jr.'s rookie debut. Great game by C.J. Stroud. Great game for Will Anderson Jr. as well. Will Anderson had his first career sack. C.J. Stroud completed nearly 30 passes for almost 250 passing yards, threw no interceptions. Also, no touchdowns for the Texans today. Run game was very slow. Dameon Pierce only had 38 rushing yards. They couldn't get in the end zone. This defense looked very solid. Limited this Ravens team to only a total of 25 points today, and they had two turnovers. They had two turnovers on defense today, an interception and a fumble recovery. And I thought this Texans team played a really good football game today. It's their first game, and then with new rookie and C.J. Stroud, C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson Jr. and D'Amico Ryan's first game as a head coach. This was against a great team on the road against Baltimore. Baltimore is a great team, and they weren't going to win this game. Thought it would be maybe a little bit closer, and they definitely kept this one close. I mean, they were only down 1 point going into halftime. They kept it close for a little bit. About half of the third quarter, C.J. Stroud had a really good game, was connecting a lot with Nico Collins and Robert Woods. And I really liked what we saw from C.J. Stroud in his rookie debut. And let's get into the game. All right, scoring summary, the first touchdown of the ball game. First score was a J.K. Dobbins 4-yard touchdown run. That's his first touchdown of the season, and that is his last because J.K. Dobbins tore his Achilles in this game. I wish him the best for J.K. Dobbins. That's really tough, man. Justin Tucker with the extra point. It's 7-0. Two scores in the second quarter. They both belonged to the Houston Texans on two field goals by Kaimi Fairbairn, 35 and 38-yard kicks, and those both field goals were at in the last 4 minutes of the first half, and it is 6-7 going into halftime. Two touchdowns in the third quarter, both for the Ravens and both for the same player, Justice Hill, with two 2-yard touchdown runs, and one of them they went for the 2-point conversion, and it was success. And it is 22-6 going in the fourth quarter. Kaimi Fairbairn makes another field goal, a 36-yard field goal for Fairbairn, and it's 22-9. And then Justin Tucker makes a 39-yard field goal, and it's 25-9. Our game leader is C.J. Stroud threw 28 for 44 with 242 passing yards. Lamar Jackson threw 17 for 22 with 169 passing yards and one interception. Rushing yards, Dameon Pierce had 11 carries and 38 rushing yards. Lamar Jackson also had 38 rushing yards and was the leader for the Ravens in rushing yards. Leader in receiving yards for the Houston Texans in the whole game, Nico Collins with 6 receptions for 80 receiving yards, and rookie Zay Flowers in his first game, 9 receptions and 78 receiving yards. Getting into some other stats for the Houston Texans, C.J. Stroud was the only quarterback to play for the Texans today. C.J. Stroud in his rookie debut had 4 carries for 20 rushing yards. Devin Singletary had 7 carries for 15 rushing yards. Besides Nico Collins with the 80 receiving yards, Robert Woods had 6 receptions for 57 receiving yards, 3 receptions for 34 receiving yards for Tank Dell. Noah Brown had 3 receptions for 20 receiving yards. Mike Boone had 3 receptions for 18 receiving yards. Tegan Quantanaro had 1 reception for 11 receiving yards. Xavier Hutchinson had 1 reception for 9 receiving yards. And Dalton Schultz had 2 receptions for 4 receiving yards. Fumbles in this game, C.J. Stroud did lose a fumble, but M.J. Stewart's safety did recover a fumble for the Houston Texans today off of a drop ball by Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson fumbled twice in this ball game and lost one of them. The first fumble that Lamar Jackson fumbled was a hit by Tavier Thomas as Tavier Thomas popped the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hands, but offensive lineman Kevin Zettler was able to recover the ball, and they were able to keep the possession. All right, defense for the Texans. Denzel Perryman had 11 tackles and led the Texans in tackles today. He had 1 tackle for loss as well. Tavier Thomas had a really good day with 8 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. He was the player that popped the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hands on that play where Lamar Jackson almost nearly fumbled the ball. Well, he did fumble the ball. He almost lost the ball. Christian Harris had a sack with 6 tackles. Will Anderson Jr. in his first NFL game had a sack with 6 tackles. Jonathan Gennard was probably one of the best players in the defense today with 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 5 tackles. MJ Stewart stepped up after Jalen Petrie got hurt with 5 tackles. And that was really it for tackles for loss for this Texans team today. And then they had 1 interception, and that was by Steven Nelson, and that was in the first quarter on the Ravens' second drive of the season. And that was a great interception by Steven Nelson right there. You guys let me know your thoughts on the game. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Go Texans.